Did you work in high school?
I did.
Do you remember your first ever job?
I was 12. I used to deliver papers.
You used to deliver papers,
Yes.
really?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that work?
Just they delivered the big bundle on my doorstep in the morning, and I would wrap them up,
Okay.
put them in a bag, get on my bike, ride my bike around the neighborhood and deliver papers.
Huh, interesting.
Take my dog with me.
And you had to collect too?
Mm-hmm. Back in
Okay.
the day, we had to knock on the door.
You had to knock on the door?
Yeah. Here's
Collect
my $2.
the money. Got it. Where'd you work in high school?
I did a couple things. I babysat.
Okay.
I cleaned house, but that was great. That was good extra money. But
Okay.
when I finally could drive,
Mhm.
I worked for a law firm. So I was a runner for a law firm.
Really?
So I would do all their mail deliveries, or I'd take their pleadings, all their documents, and I'd go around the different attorneys' offices to get them signed.
Okay.
And then run like hell to the courthouse to get them in by 4:30 when they closed.
Oh,
so I'd get all the
interesting.
signatures. I'd have the check, and that's why they called us runners, because sometimes you'd walk and sometimes you would run.
Got it. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst ever and 10 being the best possible, how would you rate your childhood?
It's got to be like a 7.
A 7. What conditions would have had to been present for you to say like 8 or 9?
Well, I think it doesn't have to do with like money, because we never went on vacations. We had a beach house. We never went on vacations. It had nothing like that, right? It would have to do more with my parents being together, right? I mean,
Okay.
or at least having a decent relationship that wasn't kind of completely contentious and crazy.
Got it.
I think that would be the only way. I mean,
so a more happy family life, basically,
I guess.
would have increased your number.
I guess. I mean, yeah. Because.
A better model growing up of what a loving relationship should be.
Yeah, I mean, because Mom had to go back to work and all, I had to take care of the cooking and the cleaning and the taking care of my little brother. But everybody all older siblings have to take care of their little brothers and sisters.
Right.
I can't complain about that crap, Even if he was a pain in the ass, I can't complain about that,
Right.
But like the other things, like the cooking and the cleaning and all that, I wanted to make sure that my kid didn't have to do as many chores. Not that she shouldn't do chores,
Right.
But I didn't want her to be responsible for everything.
Got you. So speaking of which, do you have a worse childhood day or moment that you would like to forever forget?
Oh yeah, I probably the worst. It's kind of a period of time, not a day. I developed epilepsy when I was a child.
Oh.
And I didn't know it. And my mother had left me. She left me home.
Mm-hmm.
I was home from school. I wasn't feeling that well that day. I was about 6, I guess.
Okay.
And she went to pick something up at the grocery store or whatever, and I had my first seizure. I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
She wasn't there, right?
Right.
I ended up calling a neighbor, and they, I explained it to as only a 6-year-old can, right? But they had no idea what I was talking about. So my mother had no idea what I was talking about. So they all thought I was a little bit of a dramatic child anyway,
Okay.
right? So they thought I was being dramatic, and this really didn't happen.
Right.
So I went for quite a period of time until the day my father moved out of the house.
Okay.
And the day he moved out, I must have been very nervous and upset and whatever, and I had another one. But this time, my mother was there, my father was there, my sister was there, and they all saw it. So they saw what happened.
They saw it with their own eyes. They know you weren't making it up.
I was out. I mean, I'm like on the floor, right? Kind of thing.
Right.
Like I lose control of everything. And at that point, they realized, oh, that's it. And when I woke up and all that from it, because I'm awake the whole time. I'm awake.
Right.
But I can't control anything.
Okay.
Like my whole body goes, whatever.
Does it hurt?
It feels like your hand goes to sleep, your foot goes to sleep.
Okay.
It feels like that. It starts in the foot, and it
Okay.
moves its way up my body. And as it moves its way up the body,
Okay.
I can't move anything. So
Okay.
I slowly lose control of everything until I just kind of, and it doesn't. Doesn't hurt. It just feels like that pins and needles kind of thing.
Okay.
All the way up.
Okay.
And then I think it's like 5 minutes. They've said it's like 10 to 15.
Okay.
I can't really tell time when I'm in it, but I can hear people talking around me. I can hear what they're talking about, right? I can't talk to them.
Got
I
it.
can hear them.
And there's nothing you can do for somebody having a seizure but hold them and make sure they don't choke.
Right, pretty much.
Okay.
But I can hear everything. I know what's going on, but I can't, So yeah, I would say that whole period of time was bad.
So you grew out of that? No more seizures?
Yeah, I grew out of that.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could grow out of
I
it.
didn't either, but I did. Which leads me to believe that they weren't maybe necessarily truly epileptic seizures. It could have been more of a psychosomatic thing.
Okay.
But I did have 3 total.
Okay.
One when I was 6, one when I was like 10, 9, whenever he moved out, like 9 or 10.
Got it.
And then one when I was about 12 or 13 I had.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you already talked about your favorite childhood moment, which was the choir thing.
Yeah,
that is classic. Every time we mention it, your face lights up.
Yeah.
That
was the best.
Is there anything in your childhood that you feel happened that affected your life forever, whether negatively or positively?
Well, I think changing schools changed for me positively, because not only did I get away from the Judy Germs kids,
Right.
but the teachers too.
Okay.
So now I could be smart, and it was accepted. And
Right.
They, that was good.
It was cool to be smart.
Right.
Right.
So that, I think, overall, if you had to think, the best thing I ever did
Okay.
was that, because that way I wasn't penalized for being smart. Nobody called me Judy Germs anymore. I was just Judy. I was just Judy.
Got
and
it.
I could be myself.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
But bad? Probably boys.
Boys. Okay. Meaning what?
Meaning, I wish I had not, because I didn't have a good model of what a good relationship was, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I think I was too interested in boys.
Got it. So speaking of which, you mentioned that your daughter is 16.
Mm-hmm.
We take your daughter right now and place her inside your 16-year-old body.
Oof.
Would she have been able to handle it?
No.
No. Okay. Got it.
No, the kid can't even clean the toilet. I told you that before.
Got you.
Seriously, like she said, "Mom, how do I clean a toilet?" Really?
Right.
Yeah.
What's your overall perception of how your childhood affected your life? Like, who is today's Judy? All of your experiences combined, the person you are today, the person you became. How do you feel like what's your overall perception of how everything that happened when you were a kid molded you into the woman you are today?
Well, I mean, pretty much everything. Like, if you think about it, like, from, as we talked about, the relationship between my mother and all the men in her life definitely molded the fact that I've been married 3 times and had not really that whole relationship thing. Really not. Selection error. I am guilty of serious selection error in my past relationships. Okay, and I think that's because of what I saw growing up with my mom. Right.
Okay.
That is the one negative. Right. The other things that are positive, my neighbors, the Porters moving in, like the best thing, as far as being able to deal with different people, right?
Right.
And like just, there was never, I never thought of them as different. They were black.
Right.
But he got up and went to work every day. She stayed home and kept the books. The kids went to school every day. They went to dance. They had piano lessons, whatever, right? To me, it was just like any other kid.
Right.
And that was good to see that, right? We don't see that. Right?
Okay.
We don't, I think, I just think we have that, we just don't know what we don't know.
Okay. Got it.
Right? But when you know it, it kind of takes the veil away, and it's like, oh, well, they're just like,
Right.
They get up in the morning, they brush their teeth, they eat breakfast, like everything's, right? So that, I think, for me, was probably one of the best things, like, in childhood,
Okay.
And plus a friend. Thank God, a friend, finally, right?
Right.
But I don't think that I would be the person I am today if I hadn't had the negative experiences. I wouldn't be as resilient. I certainly wouldn't be as independent.
Okay.
Like, if I didn't have, and this is why I see a difference between my mother, my daughter, and me. Because my mother, having to take care of her and having to do all those things, the housekeeping, the cooking, the cleaning, and all, I became far more independent at a much younger age than my daughter is.
Right.
Right? And not that that's a bad thing or good thing, right? I could probably tilt it a little bit more and let my daughter do a few more things.
Okay.
Right? But it made me far more, like, my mother called me her survivor.
Give some advice to blank-year-old Judy. So with being the woman you are today, with everything you know now, if you could talk to a younger version of yourself, how old would she be and what would you say to her?
I would say at about 12 years old is lay off the boys.
Okay.
There's plenty of time for boys in the future. You don't need to worry about them now. There's never going to be a shortage.
Got it.
Take care of you.
Okay.
Take care of your dreams.
Okay.
Don't worry that if you go to college here, that it's too far for your boyfriend to drive.
Okay.
Stop it. Just take care of you.
Got it. Take care of you. Judy, thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Cole.